Hey, I'm Daniel, the founder of VibeGrade, and today I'm really excited to introduce you VibeGrade 4.0. It's our newest update, which makes it way easier to grade papers in your way and to control everything about how comments sound, how many comments there are, all the different things that you guys have asked us to improve. It also changes VibeGrade to be a sidebar in your Google Docs, in Canvas, so that you can actually have more space to see the paper that you're grading and the comments that you're writing. There's no blocking window anymore. So you can go over here to click grade, and first you want to create a new assessment. So here you can select one, and let's just say this is the power paragraph essay. And this is a high school essay, so it's going to continue asking us a couple of questions to clarify what type of assignment this is. I'll select grade 10. This is an English essay. And then I can describe the assignment instructions. So if I have an assignment instruction list that I can paste in or upload, I can attach that. Or if I have a rubric, I can also do that. So I'm going to go here, drag in the rubric, click send, and then VibeGrade's going to ask me if I want it to be evaluated in percentage, points, or levels. Let's do levels. And in a couple of seconds, it's going to generate my rubric based off these instructions. And there it is. So now it has the criteria. It has all the levels that it extracted from my rubric. So then I can go over here, click save and use, and then I'm good to go, ready. So I can also check for plagiarism and check for AI by just clicking to enable it. And I can completely customize the way that VibeGrade grades now. So I can tell it if I want to add those inline comments, or if I want to have also an overall feedback summary with a score of the entire assignment, and if I want to include the breakdown table. And I can enable or disable any part of these sections of the grading. A lot of you guys asked us for that, and so we listened and we finally made it happen. And so now I've clicked grade and it's reading the document. We've actually seen that the AI detector detected this essay as 100% AI, so that's not good. And so in a couple of seconds, we'll look through why. And you'll see that it started commenting just like VibeGrade does usually. It goes through, annotates the essay just like you would as a teacher, and it added that grade breakdown with the feedback summary, the overall score, and it's got that breakdown of each section of the rubric and the overall score. So let's go up here. We can see all the comments. Looks like this is great. This is just like the VibeGrade I love, but now we've got a couple more options, because now I can go over here and let's look at the AI detector real quick. We can see that it actually flags this, and I can click on it. It'll go and highlight it for me, and it'll insert a comment that says the passage was flagged as likely AI generated. So I can add that if I want to, or I can cancel. And then let's go over here to plagiarism check. We'll see a couple of sources like this video over here that indicates that it was actually taken from here. I can go and open the link. I'll just open it in a new tab over here, and you can see the video from which this passage was taken. Then we can also go over here to feedback by aspect, and we can look in more detail, but this is all just the same thing that you see in the document. And then let's say I wanted to add more comments, because maybe it didn't add enough comments like I wish it did. I'll click more comments. I can tell it add more inline comments and suggestions throughout the feedback. And then I'll click send, and it will actually go look at the essay again and generate more comments for me. And so you'll see it starts adding them. We can also do other things like changing the feedback style. So I'll click over here, rewrite the feedback in a different style, more encouraging with emojis while keeping the same scores and criteria. And all this is customizable. And over time, VibeGrade actually learns from your style. You can tell it, I always want you to use emojis because I'm a very happy teacher. I love showing energy in my feedback. And so you can tell VibeGrade to do that, or you can tell it to be more formal, to use language like a British headmaster. And so over here, it's gonna give me a preview of the feedback, and then I can just click apply changes, and it will go and reinsert that feedback that's at the bottom of the document. One last thing I wanted to show you that you could do is I can tell it to suggest student edits. So here, it's going to act just like me as a teacher. It's gonna peer review the essay and implement some edits as suggestions. So here it's gonna give me some overall preview of what it's suggesting that I change. And would you like these suggestions as inline comments? Make the changes as suggestions. And so over here, it's going to start thinking. And then you'll see it starts editing the paper. And we can, if I were a student, I could accept or undo this change. But as a teacher, I'll leave those suggestions in there so that the student knows what they could have done to actually improve. So this is a very material way of showing them what they can do to improve next time. I can always tell it to change something. I can tell it to change, for example, even the comment style. So I can say, change the first comment you added on the doc about the intro to be more strict. And I think it needed to be more interesting, like use a quote. And so it'll actually start editing that comment, and you'll see it changed over here. Now it says the introduction is nicely informative, but could be stronger and more interesting for your reader. Consider beginning with a relevant quote or surprising fact, and so it helps me draft those comments much more quickly than I would if I were manually typing this up. And then once we're done grading, all we need to do is go over to our classrooms over here. I'll select English, Daniel, and now I've assigned that to Daniel, so when I go over to my dashboard, we can go and see the overall trends and performance for my class. We can look at Daniel's individual essays, his papers that he's written, his scores over time, and also overall insights, so you can understand how your class is doing and actually give them insights on how they can improve. Right here, for example, we have overall progress, recommendations, key strengths, and areas for improvement. And that's it. The rest of VibeGrade is pretty much the same. You can always go and create resources, and you can differentiate resources, or you could always go in as well and view the video playback of a student's document to see all the writing history, how many pastes they made, how many edits, and this will help you verify academic integrity as usual. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the new VibeGrade, and as always, if you have any questions or run into any issues, feel free to go over to the question mark help button over here, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day.